Coward of the County by Mr. Kenny Rogers. Okay.
Everyone considered him the coward of the county. Never stood one single time to prove the county wrong. His mama called him Tommy, but folks just called him Yellow. Something always told me they were reading Tommy wrong. He was only 10 years old when his daddy died in prison. And I took care of Tommy 'cause he was my brother's son. I still recall the final words my brother said to Tommy. Son, my life is over, but yours has just begun. Promise me, son, not to do the things I've done. Walk away from trouble if you can. Now it don't mean you're weak if you turn the other cheek. And I hope you're old enough to understand. Son, you don't have to fight to be a man.
Looks like we got another life story. Another life lesson here. Son, you don't have to fight to be a man. Yeah, absolutely. But when you're a man, society, they make that so hard for you. You know, it's a philosophy that is so hard to follow through, because when the pressure falls on you, from family, from friends, you know, from loved ones, from your partner, from your wife, your husband, you know, it's like society makes you feel that he who fights and runs away, he doesn't live to fight another day, or he lives to face a life of shame. That's what society makes you feel. But I think deep down, you know, it's I think there are cases when you can turn the other cheek, and there are cases where you have to stand up and fight like a man. It's a hard fact of life.
There's someone for everyone. Tommy's love was Becky. In her arms he didn't have to prove he was a man. One day while he was working, the cattle and boys came calling. They took turns at Becky, and there were 3 of them. Tommy opened up the door, saw his Becky crying. The torn dress, the shattered look was more than he could stand. He reached above the fireplace, took down his daddy's picture. As the tears fell on his daddy's face, I heard these words again. Promise me, son, not to do the things I've done. Walk away from trouble if you can. Now it don't mean you're weak if you turn the other cheek. And I hope you're old enough to understand. Son, you don't have to fight to be a man. The Gatlin boys just laughed at him when he walked into the bar room. One of them got up and met him halfway across the floor. Tommy turned around, they said, "Hey, look, old Yellow's leaving." But you could have heard a pin drop when Tommy stopped and locked the door. 20 years of crawling was bottled up inside him. He wasn't holding nothing back, he let him have it all. Tommy left the bar room, not a Gatlin boy was standing. said this one's for Becky as he watched the last one fall. I heard him say, I promised you, Dad, not to do the things you've done. I'll walk away from trouble when I can. Now please don't think I'm weak, I couldn't turn the other cheek. Papa, I sure hope you understand. Sometimes you gotta fight when you're a man. Everyone considered him the coward of the county.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Beautiful. Beautiful, man. Mr. Rogers. Fantastic song. Now, the interesting thing is, when I said something a little while ago, I said sometimes, you have to fight to be a man. And I swear, at the end of the song, they actually use those lyrics. Because it's just a simple fact of life, I mean, look at what happened to his girlfriend, Becky, I think it was. I mean, tell me any man who that would happen to, and he'll just sit at home and say, oh, it's okay, you don't have to fight to be a man, I'm going to turn the other chick. I mean, it's like it's near impossible. The only way you do that is if you know within yourself that you are not physically capable. And even so, some people will go as far as maybe buying a gun or something, to help them out, or hiring some thugs, because we're humans and we got emotions. And yes, on the whole, it's good to turn the other chick. But some things happen to you, Ryan, it's just impossible. I mean, what man will, for example, know that his daughter has been, attacked, and he'll just say, oh, it's okay. Your first instinct is to go out there and I don't want to say the word, but you want to go out there and find those people. Who did this to you, daughter? Who did this to you, kid? That's what comes to your head, So this song, there can never be a song truer than this, because everybody can relate to this. And there's no lyric here that you hear to yourself and say to yourself, oh, that's not real. Everything was spot on, 100%. Beautiful. I could predict most of the words he was going to say. And most of the time I got them right. Because the way they wrote the song like every normal person, would talk. They didn't try to be clever. It was just like what you expect. And it's a fantastic song. I loved it. And the irony is when he was apologizing to his dad, that forgive me, Dad, for being weak and I couldn't turn the other cheek. He's begging forgiveness for being weak when he had just knocked out 3 guys. Now, do you see, the paradox in that? That's so. Do you see the the irony in that? That is amazing, amazing, very clever. Beautiful song. I enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. And for our visitors who just stumbled onto us for the first time, I hope you enjoyed this as well. That's what we do here. We always have fun. We're all for enjoyment. No time for bumping around here, We're all for fun. So if it was your first time, I hope you enjoyed yourself. And I hope you come back for more and join our family. My name is Harry. And like I always say, stay cool and stay safe. And I'll see you at the next stop.